All right, today we've got a real cautionary tale for you about a new gadget that absolutely took the tech world by storm. It promised incredible power for a price that seemed too good to be true. But when people started looking closer, they found some really alarming secrets hidden inside. It's a question we all should be asking. We put so much trust in the technology we bring into our homes, into our offices. But what happens when that trust is, well, misplaced? And this story? It's the perfect example of why being just a little bit skeptical is, well, probably a really good thing.
Okay, so to really get what's happening here, we first need to talk about what a KVM switch even is. And really, it's simple. It's a piece of hardware that lets you take total control of another computer. We're talking its keyboard, video, and mouse from a distance. And the real magic here is that you don't have to install a single piece of software on that computer. You just plug it in and go. And that right there brings us to the star of today's show, the Nano KVM. When this little gadget was announced last year, it created this huge buzz online. It was pitched as this powerful, super accessible, and genuinely revolutionary tool for IT professionals and tech nerds alike.
And honestly, the hype was totally justified. You could just plug it into a computer using HDMI and USB and get complete control. I mean, we're talking full-on access to the BIOS. You could install a whole new operating system from scratch, all from a web browser. Plus, it didn't even need its own power cord. It just drew power from the computer it was plugged into. And the cherry on top? The company promised to make the software open source. But let's be real, the absolute killer feature was the price. You could get one of these for about 60 euros. Its main competitor, the Pi KVM, which is a really respected device, that costs around 400 euros. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? That price difference is exactly why the Nano KVM started flying off the virtual shelves. Yeah, but that excitement, it didn't last long. Once security researchers finally got their hands on one, the whole dream started to fall apart. It became pretty obvious, pretty fast, that in the rush to get this thing to market, let's just say some very big corners were cut. And the problems? They started almost right away. Soon after the release, boom, a product recall because of a hardware flaw. Then, the first security audits found that the devices were shipping with default SSH passwords, which is, like, Security 101, a huge no-no. Now, to be fair, the manufacturer patched it, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. Because as researchers kept digging, the issues went from looking like, sloppy mistakes, to something that felt a lot more, well, sinister. Turns out, the software was basically a house of cards. Okay, so get this. The web interface? It had no basic protections against common attacks. The device itself was phoning home to servers in China, with no easy way to stop it. It didn't even check if software updates were real before installing them. Oh, and its unique ID key? Just stored in plain text for anyone to see. Look, these aren't small bugs. These are fundamental, how did this even ship, security failures.
But wait, it gets so much worse. This is the big one. The encryption key, the thing that's supposed to protect user passwords, it was hard-coded. And it was the exact same key on every single device they sold. Think about that. An attacker cracks one, they can potentially decrypt the passwords from all of them. It's a skeleton key for every single user. And just when you think it can't get any weirder, it does. The software they shipped to paying customers had powerful hacking tools just sitting there, pre-installed. You've got TCP dump for spying on network traffic, and aircrack, a famous tool for breaking into Wi-Fi networks. I mean, why on earth would you ship a finished product with that stuff on it? But you know what? All of that, the bad code, the single encryption key, even the hacking tools, none of it could have prepared the researchers for what they found next, soldered right onto the device's circuit board. So after all that, after everything they'd already found, what was the most alarming discovery of them all?
Yeah, a hidden microphone. It wasn't in the specs, it wasn't in any of the marketing, it was just there, on the circuit board, hidden. And this wasn't some cheap leftover part. It was a tiny, we're talking 2 by 1 millimeters, but high-quality microphone, totally capable of picking up clear audio. So small, you would absolutely never notice it unless you knew exactly what you were looking for. And here's the really chilling part. The software to use it, it was already on the device, ready to go. With just a couple of simple commands over SSH, that's the same SSH that had the default password, by the way, anyone with access could just flip a switch, basically, and start recording everything. It's terrifying.
So the story of the Nano KVM it's just shocking. But this isn't just about one bad device. It's really a symptom of a much, much bigger problem that goes way beyond this one company.
I mean, let's just run down the list again, right? Default passwords, a universal encryption key for everybody, mysterious connections to servers in China, built-in hacking tools, and, oh yeah, a secret microphone. It is a total, complete privacy nightmare right out of the box. Okay, so it would be really easy to just point fingers and say, oh, this is just a problem with one sketchy startup from another country. But the truth? A blatant disregard for our privacy is a global issue, and it involves some of the biggest names in tech you can think of.
Let's just zoom out for a second. So on one hand, yeah, you've got the Nano KVM with all its issues. But then you look at some of the biggest tech companies right here in the US. Apple had to pay out $95 million in a lawsuit claiming Siri was recording private conversations. Google's facing a very similar lawsuit for its voice assistant. And get this, it's been reported that Apple held these secretive summits to teach police how to use their products for surveillance. So yeah, this battle for our privacy, it's being fought everywhere, against everyone.
And all of this leaves us with one final, really unsettling question. The Nano KVM got caught, sure. But what this story really proves is that these hidden features can be lurking anywhere, in places we would never even think to look. It really makes you wonder, what else is out there? And more importantly, what's listening in your home right now?